Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to another edition of the Leadoff Show. We have a early slate today on Draftkings. I believe it's 12:20 Eastern, 11:20 Central Lock, so really early today. There's only one game that's early, it's Braves Mets, and the other ones are a little bit more afternoon, but it was a 5-game slate as of about 2 minutes ago of me recording this. It is now a 4-game slate. This game here, Minnesota-Detroit, just canceled, and we just lost Gubel and Pablo Lopez, so it really is going to drastically change pitching. Another good pitcher on the slate is, in this game here, Freddie Peralta, uglier than yesterday where they already played through storms, so they're going to have to probably play through some rain. I don't know. It's gonna be ugly, but we can dig into it, and we'll see what we can find as we go. If you're not going to be around your phone around noon, you might just have to take this slate off, either that or just play a very safe lineup, because it looks like we're going to be tracking, especially this Brewers Reds game, weather up until noon, even after lock, to try to figure out about Freddie Peralta. But we'll see what we can find as we go through. All right, for Mets Braves, this game got canceled yesterday, so it's they're running it back today. Scattered showers, isolated storms in the area. Delay at any point, but likely to keep playing on this slate. That might just be the best we get. Pitchers might just have to. I already talked about it. The Brewers Reds, uglier than yesterday, where they already had a bunch of rain. Possible they just have a headache and early postpone, which would be great for us just to know. But if not, looks like they might have a late start or play through some type of delay. This is the game that's already canceled. We got the Astros Royals, winds zipping from left to right at 20 miles per hour, but at least there's no rain, so a rain-free spot. Hunter Brown, Brady Singer there, so we got some solid pitchers too. And then the only other game on the slate is Texas. All right, so that's weather. We already lost 2 good pitchers, and the only other good pitcher on the slate is in. Outplayed. All right, we can go ahead and jump into it. Like I said yesterday, this is the starters from, like I said about yesterday's game, these are the starters. Jose Quintana, 6.7K. Alan Winans, 7.9K. I mean, I think any pitcher is going to be in play at this point, with how few games there are, with the pitchers dropping off. But if we are chasing a pitcher against a good team, probably would rather chase Brady Singer against the Astros, or even Winans on the other side. Quintana's just not going to do it for me. Lefty versus the Braves is just tough ask for anybody. I think if the Braves do get real popular, we can just fade them. I don't think he has to play Quintana even on a 4-game slate. I mean, at best, what are you hoping for? 5 innings, 3 Ks from him. 6 innings, 3 Ks. I mean, that's his upside. So don't have any interest in Quintana. Winans on the other side. If there's no rain in this spot, he is certainly interesting, especially with all the other pitchers dropping off. I think John Gray is 6.5K against Oakland, so he's going to be super popular. So Winans kind of comes in as a little bit of a pivot off that. He's kind of in the Hunter Brown range. So obviously, I would consider him a lesser pitcher than Hunter Brown, but ownership wise, it might pay off. Interested to see I would think both of these teams play their starting catchers. Trump was in there yesterday, but I mean Darno already had the day off that they were trying to give him, so I expect to see Alvarez and Darno in there side. So Winans is going to be in the mix just because of the lack of options, but that's about it. As for the Mets hitters, though, they might come in fairly low owned. I mean, we're going to have to find hitters somewhere. I think so. We're not going to have. Especially if we lose the Brewers Reds game, the Rangers are gonna skyrocket, and that probably puts the Mets right there as a pretty good option. This team is starting to come alive a little bit on offense. They've scored some runs on the Braves so far this series, so I think the Mets are certainly interesting. Winans really struggled with lefties last year. That puts Nemo. I mean, maybe Lindor will turn it around at some point. I mean, we know how good of a hitter he is. So maybe that's a chance we can get him lower owned if people are still thinking he's just going to struggle forever. But Nimmo and Beatty, I think, would be solid options here, even if you might have to end up with a couple like one-offs or something. The Braves, it's just the same thing as always with the Braves. It's just going to be a matter of if we can afford them. On this slate, I'm trying to say, I mean, if Peralta's gone, you could play Gray and Singer, or Gray and Brown, or Gray and Winans, or something like that for super low price. You could probably afford the Braves. If that's possible, then I would try to get them. Without saying so. We have some cheaper options here. Like I said, I hope Darno's in there. If he is, Darno, Arcia, Duvall, always kind of, you can mix into these for use them as cheap pieces here. Put your stack. All right, moving on. Brewers, Reds. Freddie Peralta 8.8K, Nick Martinez 6.2K. This really just comes down to the weather. If this game happens, Peralta's the top pitcher on the slate, and it's not even close. The rain might lower his ownership some. It'll probably keep it in check. So if this game plays, I'm good running out Peralta. Even if on a slate like today, let's just say you enter $100 a day, I wouldn't mind dialing that back a little bit and then going even riskier. You know what I mean? Get to an entry amount that you feel comfortable, and I mean, if there is rain chances and you can, but they're gonna try to play. I mean, there's a chance you get Peralta at like 10-20% ownership, 4-game slate, and then you just hope he gets us out there. He goes 6 innings, 8 Ks. Heck, he could even get delayed. He could get complete game. So whatever you need to do, but I wouldn't mind leaning into the risk a little bit on such a small slate. I think Martinez on the other side, he's not worth the risk. On the flip side, I mean, if this game plays, you're just holding your breath and hope that he does well. Yeah, it's just kind of a middle of the road start to the season, so no interest in Martinez. As for the Brewers bats, I mean, in a lineup you're playing Peralta, you can play the Brewers bats as well if you think they're going to play. Certainly can attack Nick Martinez, but I mean, this game just comes with so much risk. So just keep that in mind. I would try to go use lefties against them. He's pretty solid against righties. So pick out some of these better lefties, and this team has been running like crazy. They had a bunch of steals last night, so any of these guys with steal or home run upside, be a good place. Reds, I'm going to be out. Even if this game plays, just fade Peralta. There's no reason to really chase after the Reds. If you want to mix in, one or two guys for price range or home run upside, that's fine. But I just don't think it's necessary with the rain concern. All right, this game's gone. Next one, we got Astros Royals. Hunter Brown 7.5K, Brady Singer 8.2K. Browns a slow start this season. They really haven't been letting him go deep too, which is a major concern. I mean, beggars can't be choosers on this slate, but we would like to see at least 6 innings out of him or something. But he's just been absolutely terrible against righties this year. 6.16 WOBA, 273 ISO against righties this season. Kind of very unexpected. He struggled versus righties last year too, but not to this degree. So I think I would lean elsewhere on Hunter Brown. I might even rather play Winans than Hunter Brown, but we'll see how the slate comes out. I mean, he'll be a good pivot off Gray if you go Brown and Winans, or even both pitchers in this game or something if we have to because of weather. But I don't have too much interest in Brown, but he might just have to be a necessity. All right, Singer has been off to a really good start this year, so I'm huge opening start from him versus Twins. Solid start last time out versus the White Sox. This is more what I would expect from Singer. Kind of, right out of K per 9 or just under. But in this spot against the Astros, obviously strikeouts are going to be hard to come by. I'm trying to think just between Singer and Hunter Brown. The matchup is obviously better for Hunter Brown, but Singer's been better this year. He does struggle versus lefties. Bad news is, or the good news is he's only going to see 2 of them. The bad news is those 2 are Alvarez and Tucker. But Singer's elite versus right-handed hitters. I don't mind the taking the risk here. I could see it being worth it. I mean, obviously Alvarez or Tucker could take him deep, but hope that hope that he can take advantage of the rest of the lineup. As for the Astros bats, kind of just mentioned it. Really want to attack Singer with lefties. Also, too, I mean, with the Astros, you want to get Alvarez and Tucker anyway. So if you can fit Alvarez and Tucker into the Houston stack, I would do it. But outside of that, I kind of have more interest elsewhere than with the Astros. All right, on the Royals side, I'm always in for playing the Royals. I'd really target the righties here against Hunter Brown. Talked about that's where he struggles the most. Garcia, Whit, Perez, Velasquez, Renfroe. I'd see playing 3 to 5 of those guys. I do really like the Royals here, especially get to I think the Rangers are going to be the highest on team, so that might be a good pivot there. All right, last game we got A's Rangers. JP Sears 5K, John Gray 6.5K. Sears will not get any strikeouts, especially here against the Rangers. It's going to be tough sledding for him. You just kind of hold your breath. Hopefully he can get through a few innings unscathed if you play him. But I mean, this guy has a 4.5% strikeout rate this year. Obviously that won't continue at that clip, but even if he gets it back up to 10 or 15%, I would expect it to stay below average. So I might honestly play Quintana over Sears in this spot. So on the flip side, though, John Gray in a great spot here, and the price is just absolutely insane. 6.5K. I mean, are they worried that he's not going to go deep? I don't think that's a concern. I'd have to figure out why exactly he. See how many last 2 games. That would be my only concern. Oh yeah, he got up to 84 last start. He's fine. I have no concern for pitch count for John Gray. Man, I don't know where that price came from. He should be probably 8.5K at least. He's a mid-highest on pitcher for good reason too. Especially if Peralta gets canceled, he'll be the highest on pitcher. The price allows you to pay for whatever you want. So if you play Gray, try to get different elsewhere. But I mean, he's a top pitcher for good reason. All right, so over on the A's side, certainly is your leverage spot. They've been playing pretty well this series. I think 2 nights ago, Link Lears had his 3 home run night. Gray's really struggled against lefties this year, but he's been bad versus righties too. So that puts Blade, Seth Brown firmly in play. Toro, I think he has solid numbers against righties, bat and leadoff. So lineup comes with a lot of strikeouts. It's very boom or bust, but this is the type of leverage play that you could really take advantage of on a 4-game slate. I mean, 4-game slate, if you make your lineup and you think it's ugly and no chance to win, then it's probably a pretty good lineup because no one else is going to build it. So I like the A's as a leverage piece. I mean, if Peralta gets canceled, Gray's going to be probably 70% owned. So if that's the case, the A's make for a great pivot. Even if you don't play Gray, you mix in 1 or 2 A's, I think you'll have a good lineup. All right, over on the Rangers side, this is the top offense of the day, though, without question. Talked about how bad Sears is. 4.5% K rate this year. Getting absolutely smoked by both sides of the plate, even lefties. So really everyone's in play. Bottom of this order has been weak for Texas so far this year. I don't even know if Winslow's got an MLB hit yet. He's only played 1 game. Played last night. Carter finally had a hit, but he struggled lefty so far this year. Obviously, 1 through 6 is where you want to focus, but that's what everyone's going to do. So maybe you do mix in Carter. I mean, there's a chance Sears only goes 3 innings or something, and then if that's the case, then now you have Carter at next to no ownership or something like that. If you do play the Rangers, that's all I'm saying is you got to try to figure out a way to be different. Whatever that is, if that's playing Gray and Winans, Rangers, and the Royals, or even Gray and Quintana, or something like that. I don't know. If you play the Rangers, you're going to have to be different. All right, that does it. That's the whole slate. Like I said, it's only 4 games now with the rain. Everything hinges on this game here. If Brewers Reds happen, Peralta is going to be our top pitcher for good reason. He's in a great spot here against the Reds. If this game gets canceled too, and we're down to 3 games, you're going to have to take some chances. Like I said, dial back the bankroll a little bit if you feel like you're overexposed and you're scared to get different. You should never be scared to get different. I mean, you should expect to not cash probably, I don't know, 60 to 70% of the time. My in the money rate is anywhere from like 32 to 35%, even on when I'm having success. So you know, don't be afraid to fully commit to a leverage place, and if it hits, you're in first place, and that's what we're ultimately going. So I think if Peralta's not playing, or if Gray does, or even if he does play, Gray's the next top pitcher on the slate, and then I think you have Singer, Winans, and Brown kind of all together. Singer's probably my favorite upside when it comes to being kind of maybe a unique piece. I think Winans. I think that price is people aren't gonna like aren't gonna like paying that for Winans. I think they'll rather just pay for Brown. So I do like that price for Winans. And then I like Quintana over Sears. But all right, that is it for today. Don't forget, lock is early, 11:20 Central for me, 12:20 Eastern. That's Braves game. Eye on weather, everybody, and I'll